Are women superior to men? A never-ending succession of books and news stories suggests they are. How many times have you heard that women are wiser, kinder, more efficient, just all-round better human beings?
All right, sir. So question number one is, can you name 5 things that women do better than men? Can you name, like, whatever comes to your head, 3 things women are naturally better at than men?
Making decisions, multitasking, and being level-headed.
Compassion and empathy and generosity of heart.
So real quick, we're in New York City. Can you just name whatever comes to your head that women are just naturally better at than men?
Texting. Eating, maybe. Drinking. Thinking. Acting. Prioritizing. Everything.
I was going to say everything.
And yourself?
My gut reaction was everything.
Well, let's look at the evidence. That's coming up next on The Factual Feminist.
When you are truly, really the best, you don't need to talk about it. Everybody already knows. Your real strength comes from the fact of you being silent about your strength. Never argue about being the best, the king, the worst, the first, the last. Your mission is your main concern. Do what you have to do no matter what. Duty comes first.
Now, it used to be fashionable to celebrate men's alleged superiority over women. And many of the great philosophers, Aristotle, Kant, Rousseau, Nietzsche, they deemed women intellectually inferior to men. But today, there's a new kind of reverse female chauvinism that prevails. It is so common that social scientists have given it a name, the women are wonderful phenomenon, or WA for short. Well, here's a sample of recent WA headlines. Well, let's consider some claims of female superiority. Take multitasking. I mean, how many times have you heard that women are much better at multitasking than men? The British writer Sir Ken Robinson, in one of the most watched TED Talks of all time, referred to a raft of research that showed women's superiority in multitasking. But where is this research? What we actually have is a handful of small, inconclusive, inconsistent studies. Now, some show women are better, but others show that it's men who excel. Thomas Busser, a researcher at the University of Amsterdam, took a careful look at the data and concluded that as far as gender differences are concerned, we just don't find either men or women excelling. It's a mix. It turns out that neither sex is particularly good at focusing on more than one thing at once. Well, what about niceness? It's often said that women are kinder than men, and the film critic Roger Ebert praised women to the skies for their kindness and generosity and hoped that they would take over the world. We'd all be better off. Well, is he right? Well, when it comes to generosity, kindness, altruism, once again, you find a lot of conflicting studies. But one of the most thorough and careful surveys was carried out by Tom Smith and his team at the National Opinion Research Center at the University of Chicago. Smith and his team asked questions that included both male and female styles of altruism, because women tend to adopt nurturing and caring roles towards people more than men, while men excel at good deeds and acts of kindness involving strangers. So in Smith's survey, women proved to be more empathetic than men. They were more likely to feel pity for others and to describe themselves as soft-hearted. But when it came to the empirically critical measure of generosity, how much do you actually do for others? The results were different. When Smith and his colleagues tallied up the results, they found that the score was even. Gender, Smith concluded, is not notably related to altruistic behaviors. Advantage, neither sex. Both sexes have their graces and their own styles of being virtuous. Neither has a monopoly on good or evil. How did we lose sight of this obvious truth? Because we live in the age of WA. The rules of women are wonderful. This is a game, and it's impossible for men to win, because if women do something better than men, that's just evidence of their innate superiority. But if men outperform women, that's proof of discrimination, retrograde patriarchy, or toxic masculinity.
Yes, they always need a person to blame. They need to blame someone if things don't go their way. Gentlemen, life is both good and bad. Each gender has its good and bad people. It's called duality, one of the main principles of creation. Some people really need to read more and understand what they read. You have competent, nice, kind persons among men and women, and the opposite too.
And to violate the spirit of law is to invite havoc. I mean, suggest, as the former president of Harvard, Larry Summers, once did, that men have some innate advantages in math or spatial reasoning. Well, prepare to change your job. But write a book that's entitled, Are Men Necessary? The End of Men, Men Down, Women Are from Venus, Men Are from Hell, and the gods of the zeitgeist smile. The answer to male supremacy is not female supremacy. The answer is equality, mutual regard, and respect. Let's try that.
Okay, now one category left. Jessica? Let's go with things women are better than men at for 2. Also known as labor and delivery is the ending of pregnancy, where one or more babies exit the internal environment of the mother via vaginal delivery or C-section. What is childbirth? That is correct. Things women are better than men at for 4. An efficient and orderly approach to tasks. What is organization? Correct again. It's true. Things women are better than men at for 6. A common female driving habit. What is being a safer driver? Nope. Steve? What is hitting the curb every time they parallel park? That is correct. Wait, what? Let's go things women are better than men at for 8. The act or state of being illogical or unreasonable. What is compassion? Steve? What is being irrational? You got it. Excuse me? All right, Alex, and I'll take things women are better than men at for 1,000. Women are better than men at this one thing in the workplace. What is everything? That is incorrect. Steve? What is making less money for the same job?